Greetings my friends, and welcome to episode 1 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Ottoman Empire campaign. And before we start properly my friends, I'd like to thank all of you, every single one of you, for your wonderful support through both voting and also the prelude episode I put out about a week ago. The advice in that prelude episode is absolutely exceptional. We are going to take part and use as much of that advice as we possibly can within the first couple of turns. Now, if you don't see your advice being used immediately, please do not think that I'm sort of, not going to use it, I'm ignoring your advice. Your advice will be sort of slotted in depending on what happens, because remember, this could be a very, very fluid situation here depending on where we start, what happens with us. So your advice is going to be used, my friends, but if it's sort of delayed or you don't see it going in there straight away, please don't think I've ignored it or I've just not read your advice or I'm not taking it on board. Everybody's advice is going to be taken on board, and everybody's advice is going to be used at some point. It might not be used straight away, but I can guarantee you it will be used whenever we can fit it in. I promise you that all your advice, because it has been exemplary, nothing short of exemplary advice for this whole campaign. It really has put us on a firm footing straight away, really on the front foot is what we needed to do. But we may not get a lot of action in this particular episode either, because we're going to take our time. We want to do things right. We've got to take our time here. This campaign is going to be difficult. I've attempted this campaign before in the past, but unfortunately technical difficulties sort of kicked in and we weren't able to complete it. So I'm pretty much starting from new here, but with the council's backing, and it's been an absolute exemplary backing. It really has a wonderful series of plans and strategies, advice. Everything has been flowing in. It's been brilliant to read it. It's been brilliant to sort of take it on board, and we're going to apply it as much as we can for this particular first episode, and also in latter episodes you'll see your advice slowly being involved into this campaign. So my friends, I'd like to thank you once again before we get off to a firm footing here. Now, as you can see, we have a vast empire, but that empire, when you scratch the surface, is not in the rudest of health. It is not in the best of health at all. We have infrastructure problems, we have military problems, we have an economy which should be robust and absolutely bristling, and unfortunately it isn't. I would dare say it is in the doldrums, the economy at the moment. We are effectively state-sponsored, we are state-sponsoring pirates at the moment via the Barbary state, which is dragging down a diplomatic status quite severely. We have a series of ministers in the cabinet who are basically got their hand in the till and are stealing from the state. They are corrupt, which is absolutely abhorrent. If you're working for your country, you should be working for your country and absolutely giving all you can, my friends, and then making sure that that country is a success. We have unfortunately a ruler who is not, shall we say, the finest ruler that the Ottomans have ever had. And we also have a series of very potential, and at the moment not potential, but we do have a very series of very strong enemies which we have to deal with as well. So we've got a long list of things to do, and we've got a long list of things that could go wrong quite quickly for us. So we've got to be absolutely on the ball here. We really do have to be on the front foot here. Now, there's two main threads that came out which ran really all the way through the advice, and they were pretty much consistent with all the council members came out. The first was, we have to do something about the Barbary states. The Barbary states can no longer be our ally. We cannot have them as a protector, we cannot have them as an ally. We have to cut ties with them. There was of course an excellent advice from the council saying that sort of break your ties diplomatically with the Barbary states, but keep the trade coming in. Because that shouldn't do any harm, and that'll keep money coming in as well, which is a good advice. Secondly is to sort the council out. There was also a call from a council member as well to turn the government, as it were, into constitutional monarchy, and that would sort of bring more stability in terms of the populace, and also maybe for future conquests as well. There's a sort of religious sort of angle as well to it, where you've got to sort of convert from one religion, especially in Europe, where you're converting mainly Catholicism and also Protestant, and then you're sort of moving into sort of an Islamic sort of state as well. So we've got a lot of things to sort of juggle here. We've got to get this right. This sort of this delicate balance, this equilibrium has to be found here, and we will do it, my friends. But we're going to have a few bumps along the road here. This is not going to go smooth as we want it to be. If it does, We shall take it, we shall grasp it with both hands, we shall not let it go. But we're going to have a few bumps in the road here, so we are going to be sometimes looking, we might be dicing and dancing on the edge, just sort of the precipice as it were, but we will pull ourselves through here. Now, fingers crossed, we won't have any technical difficulties. We're not going to think about that at the moment. We're just going to focus on what we're going to do. And the third sort of other thread as well was the alliances and the trade we're going to need. Now, Persia came up constantly as a potential ally and indeed trade partner. So many of the councils saying, Mali, you need to get Persia onto your side and also to get them as a trade partner. There was also a number of council members, advocating that we attack Persia and sort of try and take over Persia. We can look at doing that, but once we've got ourselves stabilised, once we've got things working, many of the council were saying you need to strike against Kiev and take Ukraine from the Russians, because that would really sort of put a real sort of dagger through the heart there of the Russian plans, because of course we are at war with Russia. And as you can see, Russia is a vast, vast empire. As you can see, this is all Russia now. Russia is at war also, I believe, with Sweden now. If we can ally against, council members are saying, ally yourself with the enemy of your enemy. So again, if we can ally ourselves with Sweden and possibly put on pressure from, two directions, that's exactly what we'll do as well. As you can see, we've also got Austria up in the north here, Klausenburg, Transylvania. They got Zagreb. We've got Belgrade and Bosnia. So we do have most of Yugoslavia under our control. There's a very strong chance that the Austrians will look to try and reclaim that from us. Also, infrastructure was also mentioned as well. We had two line of thoughts here from the council. This first was that in terms of road infrastructure, the first group of council members are saying we should sort of construct our roads from outside inwards. So in other words, from, let's say for example, Moldova, Serbia and Bosnia would be the ones that would get the initial monies to build roads, and then they would lead down into Istanbul, and indeed likewise with roads in Damascus, Jerusalem and Cairo and Baghdad, and particularly Armenia here was also suggested that would lead to Ankara, which Ankara is going to be sort of the main sort of Middle Eastern hub. It's going to lead into the gateway of the West here. And there's the other sort of camp as well, the other camp of the council members saying that we should indeed invest in infrastructure from Istanbul, Greece and Ankara, and sort of have this sort of the inward investment which would then spread outward. Now, as you can see, we do have a number of backwater. Now, when I say backwater, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I don't see that in a bad way, in a derogatory way. I mean it in terms of sort of the regions that might be a little bit quieter for us, where we can sort of, build our empire with not so much disruptions or potential disruptions, where we'll have that sort of freedom to do things we want. So when I talk about backwater, don't think of it as a bad thing. Think of it as as a rear area, as it were, that we can sort of do things quietly and calmly and sort of start to build up. Now, that might not always be the case, but when I talk about that in a sort of backwater way, I don't mean it in a bad way or a derogatory way at all. We've also got, as you can see, a number of sort of client states. Some are okay with us, some are not happy with us at all. We've got Georgia here, which is I believe is a, let's have a quick look here. I believe it's a protectorate of ours. Georgia. No, it's not indeed. No, it's not. But a war of Barbary states and a war of the pirates. So I thought Georgia, but Georgia, of course, is the one potential problem we're going to have here in terms of the Russian. Now, the Russians are going to strike down from the Don without a question. They're going to strike down from Don Voice, go here, Cherkassk. They're going to move down. They're going to try and take Georgia. They'll definitely try and take Chechnya here and open up this broad front here against us. Again, the council members are saying you have to sort of take Georgia, or at least prop Georgia up in some form or other, or maybe try and get an alliance with them, so they can become this buffer zone between yourselves and the sort of big Armenia, which is our first sort of point of contact with the Russians. Even trying to get an alliance with them if possible, then sort of start feeding them technology to try and build them up so they can stand on their own 2 feet, or even at least buy time for us to get our own selves established. So again, we've got a lot to do. We've got a huge, broad sort of front. We've got a number of fronts. We've got one front down here in this sort of arc here in the Mediterranean. We've then got all of this sort of seaboard down here in the Adriatic, which is all open again. We've got the inlets here in the Mediterranean. We've even got the Black Sea in some parts, where we'll eventually have ports running along this sort of northern, or dare I say, sort of northwestern coast here on the Black Sea. We've got, of course, Russia here also operating within the Black Sea as well. the Crimea, which is allied to us. Now, was I just slightly confused with the Crimea being... indeed, they're the protectorate of ours. I do beg your pardon. They're at war with Russia. Russia will probably target the Crimea. So maybe striking against Kiev would be an excellent option for us. But again, we have to keep an eye on Poland as well. If we leave Moldova, it'll unhinge this entire strategic front here we've sort of established, which is the sort of the buffer zone between the Austrians here, because we've got a fort here as well, Fort Handora here. We've got an army in there, dare I say, but there is Israelis, and of course the Austrians do have a force here. They've also got the Polish here as well, and within Fort Brezani here. So we're going to have to build up our western fronts here. We do have these forces here as well, which we're going to send. We've got Israelis. Israelis were sort of mentioned a number of times as using them as the sort of the bulk of our forces to start with, and then eventually building up. Many of the council also saying we have to race towards European doctrine in the military stance as quickly as we possibly can here. So again, that's something else we're going to do. As you can see, though, we do have a large network of trade ports. We've got one here in Basra in Iraq. As you can see, Mughal Empire, which is again feeding all the way up here into Baghdad and outwards into the interior and into the interior of, as you can see, look at that there, the Mughal Empire feeds all the way through Ankara. So again, we've already got a trade agreement with the Mughal Empire. We want to try and establish good relations with our Islamic friends here and those friends in the east. We really want to try and get that as quickly as possible as we can, and establish a strong sort of Eastern alliance of nations to be able to help us. And also, Sweden here, I believe that Sweden here, they've already got St. Petersburg, Riga, Finland. Let's have a quick look at our relations with Sweden. Friendly. We can't get an alliance, because remember, they're enemies with Barbary states. Now, if we sort of dismantle the alliance with the Barbary states, it can open up a number of opportunities for us. We've also got Spain here, and we've got the Barbary states. The council also recommended we remove the Barbary states and take all of this for ourselves here, sort of putting us, almost within sort of a stone's throw away here from Madrid and Gibraltar, as it were. Again, crucial we control as much of the Mediterranean we possibly can, and also getting our fleets up as quickly as possible is going to be critical to us. As you can see, we've only got light galleys here, so that's going to be something I've definitely focus on. We can get fifth rates. We're going to have to invest definitely in here. Now, the first task, and we've also got, what I did want to check also, my friends, is what agents we have. We've got Eastern Scholar. We've only got one Eastern Scholar, and that's in Anatolia here. I believe we've only got one school, which is not good for us. Now, let's have a look here. We've only got Konya here. Now, council members did also recommend that we perhaps remove a madrasa here, sort of, just dismantle it and make and build another school, because we're going to have to really ramp up our research quite drastically here. Now, I believe we've got quite a few madrasas probably. And how many madrasas do we have exactly? We do have a number of madrasas, I believe. There's a school here. I think we'll probably keep Anatolia as our main schooling, as our main sort of schooling port. Do we have a madrasa here? Indeed. I don't believe so. I think what we will do is we'll probably have a madrasa here as well. In Erzurum here will probably be this. I know that sort of religion is very, very important here in the Ottoman Empire. I understand that completely, my friends. As you can see, clamour for reform is already hurting us pretty badly here. And if we take that madrasa away, it might actually help hurt us quite a bit. We might have to dismantle something else to be able to build that madrasa, or build that school, I beg your pardon. We don't have anything in here at all. So we're going to have to look at doing something else here. We might have to dismantle something else to be able to make that happen. But one school is not going to be enough for us. Mosul has a madrasa, and that is well under control. So we're probably going to dismantle this. There's only +1 happiness for the Muslim population. That's fine. So we're under control. We'll have to probably dismantle this one here to bring in another school. So at least we have that research coming in here. But our first task here is to break that alliance with the Barbary states. They're very friendly with us, we've got to protect us. And we're actually going to cancel the alliance. And we are allies with them. We're still allied with them. And we're going to cancel this alliance as well. All we want is trade. We don't want anything else. Now, we've cancelled everything diplomatically we can with them now, but we've kept the trade coming in. Because we still need that money. They're unfriendly with us now, which is fine. Still plus 85, they're unfriendly with us, which is great. But as time goes by, the trading will keep us going here. Now, they're hostile with us here. But we also need to deal, as we've done this now, first of all we need to deal with our cabinet. Now let's have a look what we've got here. We've got 2426 coming in from tax. Absolutely pitiful. The size of our empire, it should be much, much higher. I mean, look at that. What an absolute buffoon. It really is a terrible, terrible leader. Any of you watching my Spanish campaign, you'll probably see him up there with the Spanish king and not being the best of rulers here. A sportsman born, -1 to management, and eccentric as well. So really not doing. Mustafa II is not really going to do us very well. He's only 36 as well, so not good at all. We've got trading income of 4762, but again that's paying for the army, which already is quite expensive. Other is 3374. We've got 10,000, so we're getting 5,542 per turn, which is not too bad. We're going to actually reduce the tax levels here. Now many of the council members saying reduce the tax levels to encourage growth. Let me show you why, my friends. As you can see, every single region is in negative growth. Every single region. I mean, look at Serbia, -800. Look at Istanbul, -935. Ankara, -2010. Greece, -1,330. So if we reduce the tax burden, it will help encourage growth. Now, I know our ministers are not helping in that term, so that will definitely, once we replace our ministers, it will definitely help us a lot. But we are going to, as our ministers here, as you can see, look at that. I mean, it's absolutely diabolical. Diabolical. So our policies, we're going to reduce tax to encourage growth. Now it's going to hit us our income, but that income, it will eventually pay dividends. As you can see here, it's already reduced the sort of burden here of debt, not straight away, but it will encourage us eventually to have that tax income. -13 growth. That is just insane, because our ministers, look at this fiend here. Fingers in the previous purse. He's got his hand in the till. Absolutely abhorrent. Something that is absolutely deplorable if you working for your country. He's only 31 as well, and he's already corrupt. Absolutely horrendous. So if you're working for your country, why would you do that? Now, we've got a tactician, so he's good for the army, but I mean, you know, +1 to management, but -2 for treasury. Why he's in the treasury, I will never know. So we've got a tactician here for the army. We do need a good army chief here. 4-star here as well, so he'll definitely be, I think, possibly our, yes, I think he's going to be our army advisor, or vizier. Plus, that's more like it, sir. Let's check every single jughead. +1 happiness lower classes. Definitely be needed here potentially. Pious, religious. And we've also got morally impaired, -1, but agrarian here. I think we're going to have Gertli Hakim is going to be our new treasury advisor. Oh, look at that, sir. What a wonder. +1 bonus to global tax income, +2 to bonus to growth trade, +2 to town wealth. Has that made any difference here? It has made a little bit of difference, but we won't see that difference straight away. But already our treasury is already booming here. Now ahead here, look at that. Diplomatic is pretty poor. Honest, +1 to management, +1 to army. I think we'll have this gentleman in the army here. Lower classes, we definitely need the lower classes to be definitely on our side. They might give us a few problems. Morally impaired, no. No, I think we shall have +1 to zeal, -5 religion and rest. I think we'll have this gentleman, Kazirili Avini, will be our new head of government. Excellent. Nothing yet, but it's allowed us to get ourselves on an even keel, so we're not at -10 in diplomatic relations. Now, with the army, definitely needs a boost here. We need that army to be as best we can. So this gentleman here, we should call him Abdurrahman Edhim, will now be our new army vizier. Oh, look at that! That's more like it, sir. And then our navy. Now, our navy's going to be definitely need something. What we've got for this gentleman, morally impaired, so money's going to management. No, we need our lower classes to be up there with us. Justice, why isn't he in justice? But no, we've got a good justice minister already. I think we'll have this gentleman here as our new naval advisor. We don't want anybody who's a little bit unscrupulous, should we say. So again, it's not going to do any but it's not, the cabinet has sort of evened itself out. We don't have a good head of a grand vizier, as it were, here looking after us. But if a new candidate's come aboard, remember, because we're an absolute monarchy, we can immediately transfer them across. But we have dealt with the treasury and we have dealt with the army. We've already got a good justice minister already. He is a man who can be trusted here. So that's absolutely fine. 40 years old. A Naziri. I mean, that's a wonderful name, it really is. Now, so we've sorted our cabinet, but this will be changed. If a new candidate comes along that's better here in terms of diplomatic relations and for the navy, that will definitely be made. So we've made 2 of our main goals have already been completed here. Sort of dismantling our sort of relationship with the Barbary states, which was undermining our diplomacy, and secondly, reorganising the cabinet and removing and putting those men in jail who have already got their hands in the till there. Excuse my friends of the beverage of tea. Now let's have a look at our trade here. As you can see, the Mughal Empire is by far our biggest exporter. Barbary states is bringing in some good amount of money as well. A lot of it is over land, which is always good. Now we've got trade. We need to increase our trade here now. And also, the council definitely recommending we go for the trade hubs here. So we build and create fleets to be sent to the trade hubs to really sort of boost our income here, especially here in the Ivory Coast. Ivory is going to be important to us. So is spices. So again, East Indies is going to be important as well for us. Cotton is not too bad here at all. No, neither is sugar. Coffee is really not going to do much for us just yet. But as you can see, cotton is already coming in here from Europe. We're exporting cotton, so we must have a cotton farm somewhere, a cotton plantation somewhere. Now, diplomacy. This is going to be crucial. They're hostile with us, and we are now Austria here. So they're at war with the Barbary states and with the pirates. Can we get a trade agreement with them? This will be crucial here. No, they don't like us at all, do they? They don't like us one iota. It's going to be difficult here. Now, Britain's unfriendly with us. Now, who are Britain allies with? They're allied with Austria. Who are France? France are at war with... But we need someone who's going to be... What about Prussia? No, we can't get an alliance. Can we get an alliance with Prussia? And there's also Sweden as well. We're friendly with Sweden. Could get an alliance with Sweden. So if we're at war with no one yet, but they will be at the moment soon, especially with Russia. I think we'll try and get an alliance with Sweden if we possibly can here. Yes, we've got an alliance here with Sweden. Now that's going to give them, when they go to war with Russia, and it's invariable that they will be inevitable that they should go to war with Russia. Now we haven't used one of our trade ports here, but let's have a look at Persia. I think definitely we do need to get some kind of trade with Persia. I think that's really crucial, and also we'll try and get some agreement here in terms of an alliance with Persia as well. Yes. Oh, I don't think we've got that there. No, we haven't. So Persia is quite clearly not interested with us at all here. No, looks like we're gonna have to really be careful here, because there's a chance that might fall on deaf ears. What about New Spain? They're hostile with us as well, but we need to really move with the major nations here. We'll try with Britain. And we'll also try, we may not get it, there's a chance we might get it, but we'll try and get some kind of agreement with Russia if we can. But Poland here. We can trade with Poland. Yes! Well, we've got trade with Poland. They're at war with, that's fine, they're allies at Russia and Denmark here, protectorates of Saxony and Courland. Now then, I wonder if that'll change the outlook that others might have with us. Let's see if we can get some trying to peace here. No, they're not interested at all. That's fine. I was expected, but we'd have to try. Great Britain. Let's see if we can get some trade with Great Britain here. You never know. Oh, indeed, sir. Wonder. Look at that. Terrifying and spectacular. So we now got trade coming in here now. That's excellent. What about France? It's a shame we can't get Austria on our side. It would be really fantastic if we could get trade with Austria. No, not interested at all. Now they're friendly with us. They're allies with Spain, but there's a chance that France is eventually going to possibly butt heads with. See if we can just get trade here. No, they're not interested at all. They're unfriendly with us, which is fine. Prussia, we'll try and get trade with Prussia. Well, we should keep one port open, really, for Persia. If things with Persia alter... no, sir. We need our money. We don't intend to pay anything at all towards that. Improve grenade? No, sir. Not a chance. We don't wish to have anything. Let's try that. Let's try that on them. Nope. That's fine. We should reject that. That's not a problem at all. We've got 13 colonies. They're unfriendly, but if we can try and get some kind of trade with them. Yes. Wonderful, sir. And we want to try and keep one trade port open if we can for Persia. We really do want to try and get Persia on our side here. They're hostile against us, but I wonder if we have a trade agreement. We send them some money. We do need to get some. But no, gentlemen, 1,000, no chance. We'll trade 500. I know that's a little bit. We want to try and get that agreement if we can with them. No, they're not interested at all, which is understandable. So we're going to have a turn. Now they're friendly with us. Prussia are indifferent. Georgia are hostile with us, but can we get trade with them that might just turn that around? No. Denmark are unfriendly. New Spain are hostile towards us. Venice is hostile towards us, and they're trading already. Now, it might be that sort of breaking that alliance with the Barbary states has helped our diplomatic states. We won't find out that just yet. Now, next, I think, is we get our research up and running. Now, many of the council have been saying we need to get to this point as quickly as we possibly can. We're European doctrinate here. I mean, look what we can get then. Mounted Nizam said it. Segban Janissary Riflemen. I mean, look at that. Nizam said it light infantry. Nizam said it rifles, which are absolutely fantastic. And then a rifle said it. Nizam said it infantry. Fantastic, it really is. But we need to get to that. But ideally, we need to get plug bayonet first and move our way down here. Probably opening up this branch here, this drill school, will enable us to open up this here. Also, I know that if we move down to carbine, what carbines give us? Mounted Nizam, we said it, and Delhi. So that would be fantastic to get these gentlemen. It really would. And look at their accuracy as well. But we need to get plug bayonet. That's probably the most quintessential of importance here, because that's going to give us these gentlemen here. So we get plug bayonets here. Now then, where's our scholar? There's our scholar. There's our school. Now it's put down to 3 here. So we need another school. So for that end, I think we'll have another school here. This madrasa here in Iraq is called Mesopotamia. Is going to be dismantled. Now that shouldn't hurt the population too much, because we've already got a good surplus there of goodwill from the populace. But we do have a significant amount of investment to make sure we goes on here. Now the first thing we're going to do is infrastructure. Oh my goodness me, look all we can recruit from here. Oh, look at that. Risker of Souls. Berserker infantry. Berserker infantry. Look at their morale. It's 14. Risker of Souls is 14 morale. These are, well, they are madmen. They wouldn't break under anything. Oh my word. Basically, they're going to last until the very last man. We need these men in our armies. Good grief. What the blaze? What? We've already got 18 pounders and the organ gun, of course. 18 pounders. Now, as many of the council have also said, we are at the start a melee heavy nation. We need to use those. What? Falahin Musketeers militia. We definitely need to get some Israelis as well. We've got the Janissaries melee infantry as well. Good morale. But these Friskers of Souls, we get 6 of them. We're definitely having these gentlemen in our armies. Now, infrastructure is definitely going to play a big part here. So we're going to have the infrastructure from Romalia, Greece, and Ankara. It's not going to leave us a lot, but we've already decided to invest in that. As you can see, my friends, we do have a huge amount of tasks, a number of tasks on our hands here. Look at that, 600 there to wealth. And there as well, 750. We've got so much to do here. The farms, we definitely need to get improved farms here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to begin recruitment here of these gentlemen soon. 332. Yes, we're definitely going to get these gentlemen here. Actually, we get one of these, a 688. We'll have 2 of those gentlemen and an Israelis. Then we're going to get some farms. So we don't have that shortage of food. 300. What? An iron mine as well. I think we get the iron mine in Bulgaria going as well. Let's get that income coming in here as well. Farms here are being already built and up and running here. We've got a vineyard here. Add to the population growth as well, and 300 to the regional wealth. I think we'll add that there. We've just got to take every single opportunity we can. We've got 50 left here. We have to definitely invest in our fleets as well. 1,280 there for that. That is expensive. We also need to try and get these sloops up and running and get them off to the trade port, to the trade lines. And we also need to have troops in these ports here to stop them from being hit by our enemies. Here as well in Izmir. We don't have the forces here. I think we will move these gentlemen down into Baghdad here in Mesopotamia, especially with Persia on our doorstep here. What can we get from here? Recruitment. Oh, we can get Riskers of Souls here as well. Camel nomads. Can we get Israelis? No Israelis here. We have probably to rely on the Felahin Musketeers. Persia is we got Mughal Empire. Can we get an alliance with them? No, they're not interested at all. That Eastern Alliance is not going to be off to a good start just yet, is it? Now we've got our scout, we've got our spy here. We're going to send our spy up into Russian territory. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on here. We're actually going to send this force here, which we do have a decent force here and a very, very good general here. What a general here. Rumours of cowardice. It's going to take us a good while to get ourselves up and running here. And actually we'll send the Imam, I think. Let's start stirring some religious disorder here. Some religious strife, should we say, into the Austrian. And also we can keep an eye on them as well, the Austrians here. My word, that's a powerful... Look at that. Prince Eugene von Savoyen. Wow. Whom do we have here in agents? Hungary. Moldavia. I think we'll send into the Russian territories here. Let's start stirring up the muddy waters a little bit here. Orthodox is on the decline, so with Catholicism here, if we can switch this here and move it into the way of Islam, that will definitely be what we need here. What agents else agents have we got here? We've got a scholar. The population is growing, but look at that. I mean, everything is declining here. All our taxes are declining here. Our wealth is declining quite steadily here. Now we've done what we can here at the moment. We do have additional I wonder if we can get this. We can get trade with the Marat. Mind you, the war here with the will drag down the Marathas. It's a shame we can't get any trade here with these gentlemen here. They want improved grenades. We will counter that. We want a payment of at least 1,000 for that. We'll take the trade agreement with Prussia. We've still got availability here to take trade. This is incredible. The trade posts we got available are quite staggering. They're not going to give us trade here. No. Hopefully things will turn around. Let's see what comes of this now. Hopefully we'll get some new candidates here which we can eventually hit. Look at the trade we've got coming in here. We also need to start building those fleets. But if we've started now the slow process here of rebuilding this empire bit by bit. We've got these here. I wonder if we could send some of these into the... They're not going to get very far, are they? Let's be honest. But I think it's probably best if we send these and at least try and get some trading from the trade node. Let's use what we've got available. I think we'd also send these gentlemen as well into that same way as well. Let's use what we can. We'll also put this ship here. As you can see, it's almost a spider's web, like almost an octopus sort of arms are sort of spreading out into the world here. Now hopefully we can start pulling around a diplomatic status, because that's what's going to cripple us. But well, war is going to be declared on us pretty quickly if we're not careful. But we have got this hostile with us here, minus 15. That is not enough. If we send them canister shot, that's going to give them improved grenades. Yes. That did the trick right there. Unfriendly, but it's still minus 115. There's a chance they might declare war on us still, but will that buy us some time there? And can we build up an army here in Moldova to strike against Kiev? That would be fantastic. We're going to try and take your advice, my friends. But the Russians are being hurt here. Their wealth is not... I thought ours was bad, but we've managed to bring the sort of the wealth decline under some kind of control here. It's not as bad as it has been, but it looks like we're done here. We still can trade. We need to really get the larger powers on our side here. We really, really do. Ultimately, I'd like to keep a trade route open for Persia. I wonder if we also bribe Persia with canister shot and this. No, let's try it again. Let's just quickly try here. Everybody wants improved grenades. They don't have that, but we are the first to have that. No, they're really, really dug in quite deep there. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. And this is going to prove whether we've done this right. I wonder if we can... Wait just a second there with Russia. I wonder if we request peace and we send this as a sort of a token. No, they're really dug in pretty deep there against us, which is fine. Let's end the turn. Let's see what happens. Here's Britain. Let's hope they don't do anything silly. France. Oh, goodness me. If we say no, they're going to declare war on us. But that's inevitable, isn't it, really? If we give them that, we've just absolutely ripped a huge chunk of our things out. No, we won't, no. And war's declared. Yep, thought so. There it is. Even though we got that diplomacy, that was inevitable. Let's hope some of Sweden will come in. But I guarantee, if some of these come in as well, we're going to be in just the Crimean Khanate. Here we go. And so it has begun. They're obviously going to strike against our Moldovan assets here. Ah, well done, United Provinces. Prussia's going for Poland here. Russia. So absolutely, sir. An enemy of our enemy is our friend. Absolutely. That should keep Russia hidden under some kind of control there as well. That's just St. John. Oh, Barbary State's taking a beating here now. What? Unbelievable. Jeepers creepers, straight off the bat here. We've got wars declared twice here. We've got to take Georgia out. Simple as that. Pirates hitting some of our... Yeah. Oh. Fantastic. They're moving all their troops down to here. We'll pull back to here, to Belgrade. Recruitment here is not going to be really substantial, is it? Let's be honest. What have we got? 9659, 9065 here. Excellent. We're going to start immediately putting this force together here. They're quite clearly going to be moving up to here. Got the Austrians moving in potentially here now. We're going to try and reinforce Moldavia here. These gentlemen here, this army here, is going to be moved into Serbia. To be prepared here for that fight. Oh, just what we needed there. Oh, that's more like it, sir. Excellent. Austria is now at war with Poland. Exactly what we needed. Prussia and Poland. Oh, no provinces of Spain. Ah! Now that could have been our school here. But I think we'll make that a craft workshop. We do need to bring in as much money as we can here. We've already got this school here. But I think we have to invest in our navy and our armies here a little bit here as well to try and get things really running here. Barracks here, recruitment. What will the barracks give us here? Janissaries. Zindari horsemen will definitely be a huge boon to us. We've almost got plug bayonets 2 away from here. But again, we have to focus. We've got George as well on our doorstep as well now, looking to attack us. So I think it's probably best if we actually send these troops up to Armenia. Oh yes, I think we'll have 2 of these gentlemen as well. We also have some Feline. We've got camel nomads, but I won't use those. We'll get some Fellahin musketeers then. Can we try and get some of these off our backs here? Oh, minus 247, there's not a chance there. Russia is minus 278. Oh, they're all indifferent with us now. Trade has been pretty much sealed off here from us. We just need to get that trade here with Persia, we really do. Let's see if that'll help them. They want 800. No, I'm afraid not, sir. You're going to give us less for that. We'll give you a canister shot for 1500. Not a chance. Not a chance. They're unfriendly with us. We're not going to get any trade there. Louisiana are indifferent. hopefully that will reduce greatly here, but we need to invest in our... We need to get these armies up and running. We need to get organ guns as well. We're going to get Israelis. We're going to get an organ gun in here as well. I think we'll invest here. We need the navy, so we're going to invest in a ship here. And we're also going to get a sloop here. A fifth rate here as well. We need to get our navy up as quickly as possible as well. We're going to get a sloop because we need to invest also in getting those trade nodes up and running. We've got 1736, we've got 9. That's being recruited here. We've got a barracks. I think we'll get a barracks in Athens as well. But it might be better for us to invest in troops here to try and hold this front, at least try and hold it in some kind of way here. But the main Master Governor's Residence is going to give us... Looks like they're aiming for there already. Let's make a statement here. We'll try and put some of these into order here if we can. We've got these coming out here. We're going to try and reinforce our frontiers here. We're going to reinforce this. I'll use this army here to reinforce against Georgia. We can't move against Georgia because Georgia's got a massive, as you can see here, a massive sort of... That's not going to work, is it? Chances are he's going to be... We need to know what's going on here with Russia. We need to keep an eye on what the Russian movements are, but we also need to get Ankara up and running here as well. Ankara does have recruitment here of some more Riskers of Souls. 9-pounders, we can even get 9-pounders as well. We are the principal sort of deliverer of that here. What about Armenia here? Infrastructure is not anything. Got basic roads here in Armenia, so we need to upgrade that as well here. And also, the council did recommend that we get forces up in Egypt as well. What if we get the Risker of Souls down here? No, not yet. Much more important that we get this here. We need to get that drill school up really quickly here. We're going to have to move down the ring bayonet. Now, what's our cabinet looking like here? Oh. Justice is actually looking pretty good at the moment here. +1 to management. I wonder if he'd be a good... -1 to lower classes. We don't need that at the moment. Hopefully we'll have some better candidates, but I think we're going to have Austria moving in pretty brutally against us in a minute. If it comes to the crunch, we might have to give Moldova up to the Austrians to buy ourselves some time. So we might give that for peace here. If they do, we'll pull this army back. We'll reinforce this entire front here. And then eventually we will take that back. If we can move in against Russia, would be fantastic. Look at that. It's already starting to creep up here. And also, they're at war now, Austria, with Poland. Now that might be our saviour here. Let's just move in a little bit closer here, see what they're doing here. Catholicism here. Let's try and really ratchet up. It's going down here already. So we're going to try and remove that Catholicism here, but they're upgrading pretty strongly here. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Now, wait a minute. Did we move these gentlemen? No, we didn't. We almost missed out on that then. Will they actually reach it? They will, just about here. I think we'll go to West Africa. Whether this force here will reach, we're not sure. No, it won't. But we'll try, at least to try and make it this time around. If only we could get that trade there, that would have been fantastic. It really would have been. But looks like all the ports here are full. 9,065. We've got a lot of trade coming in. Let's end the turn. Let's see what happens. If Austria attack us in Moldova here, we might have to give it up as part of a peace bargain with them. But if Poland decide to move in against Austria, it'll be an absolute boon for us. It really will. Let's end the turn, my friends. See what happens here. Great Britain quite clearly moving towards something here. France. Nothing funny from you, France, at all, please, sir. Austria. Oh, I wonder if they're not going to make any move here against Poland. Look at that. They're already building their forces up from an attack through Transylvania here. We're not going to weaken here, my friends. We're not going to weaken. Come on, Poland. Come on, Poland. Oh, marvellous. That's a massive dent. What? Unbelievable. We have to do something in Baghdad for definite now. Ah, I don't believe it. They're going to start raiding. Okay, let's not panic. Well, they got thrown back with great vigour. Right, let's first thing to do is to deal with what's going on here. So, if they want to fight, they shall receive it, sir. Now we've got Persia now wanting to harass us. 8420 here. What's trade? Trade has been cut off from the Mughal Empire, of course. I think we'll begin to put together a bit of a force here as well. We'll have Fellahin musketeers. They're quite clearly going to move up to here. We'll put them here so we can strike against them. Hopefully Poland will help us here in terms of what's happening here with Poland. They're at war. Good grief, Poland's at war with a lot here. They're at war with Austria. That is excellent to see. It really is. That could help us out immeasurably. Now, let's get these sloops moving already. They've obviously quite clearly got ships in there. Some of these are going to take a while to get to the trade theatres. Excuse me, my friends. But they still have to go. Iron mine is up. Excellent. The vineyards are up as well. We do need to get some of these up and running as well to really boost our income here. Let's get these peasant farms up and running as well. Let's get some kind of boost here to our income. Carpet weavers workshop. Now we're not going to have the Georgians just meandering around here. We're not going to have that. We're actually going to get a barracks here as well. Infrastructure of 1500 here. And we're going to get a cannon foundry. We're going to dig in here. Ooh, ho, 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 ho. Carpet weavers. It's 2,000. We won't repair any of those. There's absolutely no point whatsoever. Iron workshops here and iron workshops here. We're not going to give them anything at all either. I think we'll increase our barracks here. Now, what can we do here? The barracks will actually give us some Janissaries here and Israelis as well, which we'll definitely need. Ordnance. What can we get here from ordnance already? We can already get organ guns. I think it's important we get the infrastructure running here as well. I think we'll increase the infrastructure here in Mesopotamia. Got a cannon foundry up and running here as well. Our school here is going to be built to increase that and improve that. I think we'll invest the rest in what we need here in troops. I think we'll have some more Israelis here. We're going to really try and ramp up that production here. Can we just get peace with someone here? Minus 181 now. We just need to try and get peace with Russia if we can. Request peace. How about those? No. No, absolutely not. They're not interested at all. Let's have a look at our cabinet here. Ooh. Oh, look at that. That's more like it, sir. I think we'll swap this gentleman out here from the Navy with this gentleman because he's quite... Look at that. If we can get a good Grand Vizier here, it really would help us out. It's tremendous, especially diplomatically as well. We're trying to do what we can here on very, very limited budget. Got to watch our army up. Our army upkeep doesn't, expand exponentially here. I think we'll start recruiting along the borders as well here. That's all we can do at the moment. Looks like Austria is going to move in quite substantial troops here for against us. We are not going to hold out against this lot here unless Poland moves in to help us here. But it looks like they're already fighting quite a strong war against the Prussians. They've already lost Königsberg by the looks of it as well. Prussia are friendly with us. We've got a trade agreement with them though, and they are at war with Austria. Oh, they're at war with Austria, not with Poland. Come on, Prussia, for goodness sake, sir. Move in against them. Who are they at war with? They're at war with... Oh, they are at war with Prussia. Oh. They're allies with Austria. Drats. Come on, Poland, do not collapse. We might help out Poland here. We're going to help Poland out. We're just going to give them some technology here to help them out. Give them canister shot. We need Poland to stay sort of as strong as possible here, especially if they're fighting the same enemies as us, which is Austria at the moment. But they are going to pour everything they can through Transylvania here. If they strike us here, let's move down into the farmland here at Wallachia. If they try and take Moldavia, we might offer it up as a peace, sort of peace token, as it were. Here, one more turn, we get plug bayonets, and we can go for ring bayonets. The military syllabus, which is going to give us drill school, and that's going to open up. Oh, look at that, Sekban Janissaries as well. Just excuse my phone there, my friends. But ideally we need Janissaries. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. This will be the test for us here now. Britain again, moving in France. Oh, look at that, on fire there. Here they come. Here they come. That is a monstrous army. I mean, they're coming for us full on there. Oh, look at Look at that Prussian force. My word. Come on, Poland, for goodness sake, sir. Get your act together. What? No. Damn you, Persia. They read the trade line, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Crimean Khanate. And whom are they going to hit? I'm not sure where they're going, but Georgia have done nothing at all. They've actually just stayed there. We'd have to remove Georgia, I think, from... Ooh, dear. Ooh. Yes. Try and build this fleet up if we possibly can here. 7170, 6958. Trade with the Mughal Empire is back up, which is excellent to see. Romalia, we've got additional forces moving into position. But that force here is, oh my goodness me, that force is coming through with all guns blazing here. What we need is Poland to sort of intervene here, but they're not going to. They're quite clearly going to hit Moldova. Do we give Moldova away here for peace if we can? That's going to be the critical sort of test here of what's going on here. Is that religious unrest is one, but it's not going to really do much here. Now we're building an army here as well. We do need to rid ourselves of these fiends here. Definitely basic roads. Let me get some more bazooks here. What the blazes? They're completely... They've got nothing here. They've got absolutely nothing here at all. Apart from these... What, we can move in here and take these gentlemen out. They've got a lot more forces here than us, but still, if we could take Georgia out here. They've got quite a large force there as well, but I wonder if we could move in and try and take Vienna here, or even we could even take Croatia, I wonder, with this force here. They're going to move in against Moldova. That's their main principal target here. What we don't want to do is get trapped here. I think it's about time that we reinforced our residences here. And we get some more Israelis here as well. But these gentlemen, these Riskers of Souls, they are going to be incredible for us. More Israelis. Ah, excellent. Yes. Ivory Coast, wonderful to see there. We're the first ones to arrive here. Excellent, excellent, sir. Saw that infrastructure increase here. Now we did have ships moving out as well, didn't we? So let's get them moving again. Just about making it here. We'll go to East Africa as well. Let's go this via this route here. Into these Indies. Let's spread our network of trade here, trade nodes, as far as wide as we possibly can. .4148. Have to upgrade some of these here as well. I think we'll get an ordnance factory here, but we can already build here as well. School of Calligraphers we don't need just yet. Grand Admiralty, definitely need Grand Admiralty as well eventually. School of Poetry, no. We've got all we can here. We need to invest in our infrastructure as well here, so we're going to invest here in Greece as well. I think we'll get an iron workshop here as well. Let's start in. We'll get a barracks. And a cannon foundry as well. Get some Bashir bazooks here. We've definitely got Austria moving against us here. They're going to hit Moldavia. Rather than losing this army here, I'd rather give Moldavia. We're not going to lose a great deal of Moldavia. It's 680 coming in here, but it's not really growing very well here either. We're not investing in mining it though. We're going to lose that mine here. But is that really what we want to do? We can pull back here. We can start to reinforce the armies here. We can also reinforce the armies here. But if we can get peace by giving them Moldavia, because I'm not sure if Poland is going to do anything. Poland doesn't look like it's going to do much here at the moment. And we don't want to be completely crushed in here by Austrian forces. What have they got here? They've got this 5th rate here as well. We could move against Zagreb here, Croatia. I wonder if we just go to move to threaten here against Croatia. Yeah, let's move into here. See if we can possibly move against Zagreb, because that's not got any sort of anything to hold up here. If they take something of ours, we'll take something of theirs, and if they want it back, they can have peace. Now we've invested everything we possibly can here at the moment. Now, Zagreb doesn't have any infrastructure here. The infrastructure here is complete. It should be also done in here as well. Yes, indeed. We've got a huge amount to do, but of course we're at war with Persia as well, who don't seem to want to give anything away here at all. If we could take Georgia out, that would be absolutely fantastic. They do have quite the garrison here, but we've got to be careful here. If we take out this force here, but if we can take this out in one go, it would be fantastic. Let's see if we can get peace with Persia. No. Ah, but give Serbia... You've gone stark raving mad, sir. That will never, ever happen. They're indifferent to us, Luciana. Can we get trade with them now? Bulgaria, I don't think so. All we want is... Fine. Oh, Denmark. We just want trade. That's fine. That I don't mind at all. That's going to boost our trade income quite significantly here. Now, can we build any more ships here we could send to the trade routes? We need to keep that trade coming in here, that recruitment here. We've got a sloop here as well. I don't think we can build anything else, but even if we just have one ship moving into that position, at least it's starting to keep that trade coming in there. Again, I think the trade nodes are going to be very, very important to us here. We have a huge amount of sort of money spread all across the territory, our territories here. We do have trade with Britain as well, which is good to see. That should hopefully help towards making our position here, our attitude, our diplomatic stance. What the blazes? We don't need... Do we need mounted Nizam infant... We can't really use them yet because we don't have the facilities yet. When can we get the Nizam? Probably not till Military Academy, I'd imagine. God, look at Military Academy. That is quite extraordinary. Yeah, see, we can't use them until we need European doctrine. So carbines is completely useless to us. We're going to get ring bayonets here. I know we need to increase some of these, well, including physocracy, but we need to keep our military going here a little at least. But my friends, I'm going to end this very first episode here of the Ottoman Empire campaign. Again, I'm going to call upon the council's advice. Although you may not have seen your advice being implemented straight away here, you know, we are trying to adapt to the situation that arises here. But this is going to be crucial. This decision the council makes here is going to be very important. If we pull back here, and hopefully if they accept Moldova here as part of a peace treaty, that might allow Poland to move in against them here. So we might be able to see Austria coming into a little bit of conflict. If they try and take Moldova and don't accept peace, we're going to move in here, we're going to take Croatia. We're definitely going to move against Croatia here, and we're hopefully as well going to... What can we get then if we get the governor's residence here? We're going to get Risker of Souls, we're going to get Seminese here. And we're going to put a force together and we're going to try and hit Vienna if we can. As you can see, Vienna has got a decent amount of forces here, but if we were to take Vienna, that would be a crippling blow for them, or at least hit them pretty hard here. But if we take Croatia, that we might be able to trade that in for peace. But before we take that, my friends, what do we do here? The council advises once more again needed. Do we give them Moldavia here for peace? We need some breathing space. We don't want to lose this army here. Doesn't look fantastic, but the general here is incredible. He really is. And for that fact, we might pull this general out of here, actually, just in case. We don't want to lose that general. He's a big bonus here for us. We're going to move these in here as well. We've got some Risker of Souls, but if we pull this out and give Moldova to them for peace, if they accept that, if they don't, then we're going to have to start moving forces into position here. Additional forces, I think we've got them here as well. Yes, we have. We've got an organ gun, then we've got some Israelis as well being moved in. We'll build our own army here, and we'll try and do what we can here to try and halt the Austrian advance. But if Poland get involved with us as well, then that would really be a huge boost to us. It really would. Thankfully, they're doing some of their own upgrading here, the Poles. And it looks like that Sweden has actually taken Riga. So could we be seeing possibly the Russians being crushed in here, and they might not even be a risk to us, but that's like our eyes off the ball here. We've also got Georgia as well here that are at war with us, but if we can move in against Georgia, we should have enough forces here to at least hold up this Georgian force here. And we've also at war now with Persia. For whatever reason, they have decided to declare war upon us. Quite quiet here in this sort of backwater here. We need to upgrade these as well. Look, some of them even have barracks even, as you can see. But again, we've just got to focus on what's most important here. We don't have an abundance of money, though. We've got a good amount coming in next time. Oh yes, I think we might go for this gentleman here. I wonder if he will add... I wonder if he'd be better here in our head here. Oh, look at that. +4 to diplomatic relations. Exactly what we needed. It might be hard hit here on the lower classes, but look at that. Already we're starting to see growth here in Ankara. Not in Anatolia here, in Istanbul, or Constantinople as it were, but everywhere else is starting to grow now because we've reduced the taxes. Popularity has shot up. +4 to diplomatic relations. That's going to be absolutely fantastic for us. It really is. Will that turn things around here in terms of how things are seen here? We just need to try and get... We're giving a little bit too much away there, I think. Let's just try proof grenades. No, they're just really gunning for our territory. Marathons. Let's try and take the trade from the Marathons there if we can. Let's try to take the trade from the Marathons if we can here. Excellent. 9577 here, so our trade is definitely increasing quite nicely here. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here, and I'm going to call upon the council's advice once again here of what we do here. The crucial decision is Moldova here. This is the major advice I need here from the council here. What do we do here? Do we give this away for peace? Even if we offer it, they don't take peace, we will then hit Croatia and take Croatia off them, and then we'll try and offer that for peace, and we'll try and sort of bring this sort of line here of Bosnia, Serbia, and sort of the town here of Wallachia here is going to be that axis. We're going to try and hold this front line here, and then try and build up everything in the interior, particularly here in Istanbul or Constantinople, as it were. Try and get up to military syllabus. Try and get that drill school. As soon as we get drill school, we're going to open up some pretty tasty units here. Musketeers, Grenadiers. We're going to get also Sekban Janissaries. We're going to get Mamelukes. So we're going to try. We're also hopefully going to open up a new school as well, very, very soon as well, which should be done here. 2 more turns, which means then we can concentrate our research elsewhere as well. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please comment, my friends. Please keep those comments coming down below. No matter what your comments is, no matter what your advice is, please get that advice down, my friends. It's been absolutely fantastic to really hear what you've got to say here. We might even hit this trade line here, I wonder, with the ships we've got here. I think we might just do that, just to give them a little bit of a bloody nose. And add to it as we can. 936, 9639 here. But my friends, again, please keep those comments coming down below. They've been absolutely wonderful. They really have. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.